It's weird, but I like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Mm.
What What do you think? Maybe we could talk a little bit about Flynn. What did you think is? This is kind of a big one actually, because we talked a lot. We had a couple of rehearsals, right? Like we
Yeah.
would all meet in the hotel lobby and chat about the scenes at hand and talk a little bit about where the characters were going. And we also had like heavy duty rehearsals with directors and producers and showrunners and everyone in advance of each sort of block. Um, Maybe you could talk a little bit about what you think is for Flynn over this 3 years. What's the most important thing for him without spoiling anything? And maybe specifically this season, because maybe it changed, you know?
I think for Flynn, I think the most important thing since season one has been his family and his own safety.
Yeah.
I think he just wants everything to be one nice, happy family. And he knows it won't ever be like that, but that's what he longs for. I think throughout all the seasons, his actions are like, he always depends on you, his dad, he always trusts you because he knows what you're capable of. And he wishes that it could all be together, but he knows it will never be like that. So even him, as he grows up, he has to kind of gain some sort of independence because he knows he's going to face some sort of problems that you faced, that his dad's faced. And yeah, it's just, that's what he longs for, I think, for safety.
Yeah. I told people that Flynn is definitely, there's no question that Flynn is Emily's son. And I mean that in the vein of certain qualities and characteristics inherent in that character, talents, instincts. And I think that comes to the foreground more this season than ever. And maybe you could talk a little bit about that as well.
I think the main thing he's got from his mum is resilience. It's that he won't give up, even if he knows that it may not turn out okay. He won't give up because he wants the positive outcome, even though he may never get it.
Yeah.
It's like he always hopes for better, even though he's preparing for the worst.
Yeah.
And I think that is what is a driving force. I think his parents, his family, is his driving force because he knows he needs to be persistent and also determined to get done what he needs to do because is what he's faced with and he can't escape it because they're the obstacles in his way.
Yeah. I'm looking at you and I'm like, he's beautiful. Look at him.
Thank you.
So, like, as far as Corona is concerned, how are you navigating that? Have you been able to stay online, stay social? Are you, like, what is it like for you? Are you looking forward to going back to school one day, or are you kind of like, actually, this is good. I'm okay with doing school from the computer. What's that like?
It's been weird because I've had to do all my schoolwork on a computer, and it's normally us just writing in books in a classroom, but now it's just typing out essays and filling out worksheets online, and it's different. But I prefer school. I never thought I'd say it, but I prefer actually to go to school and be at home.
Well, I hope you get back to school soon, and I hope that you get also back to work soon because you're a lovely actor, and I love working with you. And thank you for being my scene partner, and thank you for bringing everything that you bring to that character and to our show. Period. You're just really like a lovely human to work with, and just a talented boy. So much success, much love. I'm sending you all of the good spirit fingers, and please give my love to your family as well. Yeah. I'll see you. Bye.
Bye.
So I don't know if Will is on, but Will, if you are on, oh, there you are. Oh, you're not able to join. Why aren't you able to join? Okay. I know what I'm gonna do. Do you guys want me to answer some questions? You want me to save this? Why don't you tell us he was British? Because. No, you can't decline. Why did you decline? Somebody knows that I'm reaching out to him. Undecline. I'm going to do it again, okay? Ready? There you go. Hi, Italy. Hello. Ooh. I'll try. Watch this. I am going to try. No. Oh wait, maybe it's at the top now. Yes. Hi.
I'm here. I've always been here. How are you?
Yay, you guys. This is Phil Pasco. This is our showrunner. He is the man responsible for the entire season.
With lots of help from lots of people.
Could you turn the camera around? Because you're sideways, and I'm not sure if
I
I
like
do it sideways.
I like.
You want to do that? Is this an
No.
artistic choice?
How's this?
Okay.
Is this better? Am I upside down now? No,
Yeah.
now my cord's in the way. All right. I'm just
Yeah.
going to hold it. There. Is that good?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Okay. We have to jump at like 12:20, something like that.
Yeah,
We have to jump,
yeah.
right? Are we
Yes.
okay for time? I don't even know what time it is.
Well, I was wondering if Matt standing by, because
I think so.
people want
I
to hear.
tried to click him in.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, try and bring him in because people should hear from him. He's awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what about
We're ta-
Big Patrick's hair? He was like going Spicoli on us. Like, I wouldn't have
So
recognized
cool.
him.
He's like Serpico.
I know. If I had walked by him on the street with that hair, I would not have noticed it was him because his hair. He looks completely different.
I know. It is. It's early. It's early. Brad Pitt. Yeah.
And I mean, like, mine's getting there too. That's why I'm wearing a hat, because I need a haircut and I can't get one. So, yeah.
Oh, it's 12:15. Okay, let's jump. Ready? I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Let me see. But yeah, you know what? Let's get into this one question. What were some of the themes? This is like a hardcore one, but dive in as deeply as you can. What were some of the themes that you and the writers targeted for this season? And I know that's going to be tough to discuss without
spoiling it.
But yeah, but we've chatted a bit about it. I think we've got some things that we can kind of handle.
I think resistance, redemption, resilience, only themes that start with the letter R. We wanted to give all the characters a little journey this season, to start them in one place and have them end in someplace else, and to have changed from that journey and that experience. And I think when people watch the show, they'll see that. They'll see those little journeys. Because it's a family. Certainly, there's a workplace family at the FBI. There's the Byrne-Durand family. And Emily's like the center of the universe in which all the other people are planets that orbit. And it was kind of like her journey should reflect on theirs, and their journey should reflect on hers.
Yeah.
And it was like we wanted to tap into things going on in the world, and without spoiling anything, when they watch the show, you'll see things that have happened in the last year and a half on planet Earth reflected into the show. And I'm just thinking when they get to the later episodes that we meet someone unnamed, and how the actor brought something interesting to that character, which is now very prescient in our world.
Weird.
It's so weird. It was like we had a crystal ball like this time last year, and now it's all happening in the world. But we just wanted to do a season that was about stuff, and it's about Emily finding empowerment from within and finding her place in the world and her role in it, and channeling her experience from season 1 to now into a new way to reinvent and write her own story going forward.
That was a fantastic shortened version of it, and I know you can dive really deep on this topic. And we will.
Yeah. We'll do this again now that we figured it out.
Oh my gosh.
Technologically.
You know what? I was telling Neil, and like it's kind of. Anyway, we'll leave that. Okay.
I had tears in my eyes with Neil's personal story. I didn't know a lot of that stuff, and like kudos to him for sharing it to the world that in that human, honest, blunt, truth way.
Yeah. You're wonderful for advocating for so much acknowledgement for your team. One of the things that the audience should know is that you pushed for the writer's assistants to get acknowledged in the credits in the show, and you constantly point towards the rest of your group to say, this is so-and-so, they did this episode, these were ideas that came from them. And, you came from, I mean, you've earned your stripes, right? You came through a bunch of other shows. You were a co-producer and a writer on Orphan Black, which is a really, really cool show.
Little poster right there.
Yeah, and you've seen this work done, and you've done it before, but why is it so important for you to acknowledge the team behind you and the team behind the story? Why is it so important for you to make sure that the people with the biggest paycheck and the people with the smallest paycheck all get acknowledged?
Mostly because it doesn't happen without all of those people. I never want to be one of those people that writes every word of a show, because I think good ideas come from all people, and it's good to have ideas that get bounced around and strengthened and rejected and improved upon. And a writer's room does that. And you've spoken about this before. The best idea wins regardless of who it comes from. So that's why these people should get acknowledged, because their ideas, their stories, their jokes, their personal experiences end up in the show one way or the other. So it's just good to share the credit, because we all look good when the show looks good, and vice versa.
You've been an amazing partner, an amazing, beautiful advocate for this show, and you have ridden this ride and stayed with it. You've done relentless work all along the way, and I want audiences to know that that it's a pleasure, it's a gift to work with you. I mean that sincerely, and that at the end of the day, the story that gets put on screen, I hope something that you'll be proud of, to your voice.
Already
am. So I hope that the audiences are what your audience is going to be able to find you through it. Yeah.
Well, it's a cliche, but it's actually a cliche because it's true. It really does take a village, and you and I have spoken about this before, but the cast coming in from all over the world, the crew on the ground in Bulgaria, our post people in Europe and here in Los Angeles, visual effects, everyone just kind of gave it their all this season, and the results are on the screen. It looks great. We've had great partners all the way through this thing, like from the studio and Amazon, Julie Glucksman, our EP. It's just like everyone's just put their heart and soul into the show, and we're just super excited now that it's coming out after like a year and a half of talking, writing, prepping, shooting, posting, marketing. Like, it's just been a journey, like the characters on the show, but now it's all coming out, and we just really hope people love it and dive into it. And, you know, my goal often with these things, like, you know, our first job, I think you would agree, is to entertain, right? Like, let's do 10 hours and entertain people. But in that 10 hours of entertainment and action and intrigue and mystery and all that stuff, if we can enlighten the audience, if we can engage the audience, if we can empower the audience, all the better. You know, that's all bonus. Like, 90% of our job is entertain, but that other 10% can be really equally important too. And I think this season hopefully makes people think about the world, opens their eyes a little bit, empowers them to go out and take a critical eye at things. And without spoiling anything, when they see the season, this will all make sense. Right now it doesn't, but it will. And it just, you know, to challenge the audience to, like, be good citizens in the world, and be involved with the world, and look outside your own little bubble at some of the injustices and issues that are happening in the world.
One last question and one last note. You know, when we were on phone calls discussing just the sort of post of it all, I would occasionally hear strumming in the background, a guitar going, and
that's one of them.
You're a bit of a musician.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a bit of a musician. Yes. And not only that, but when it came down to working with Casper on the sound design, like, this has come into my mind and come to the forefront of this discussion because I've recently finished Three Women, Robert Altman's Three Women. And in that movie, I sat there, I was like, wow, sound. The sound was helping to tell the story on another level. And you were, I mean, partially because of this music background that you have, you were, I'm guessing, and also because you're the showrunner, you had very specific thoughts, ideas, and luckily you were partnered up with someone like Casper to make sure that those things, because you were sending us, like, you're like, this is what this moment should sound like in order to indicate a character's psychosis or psychological state at points, and you're sending us samples of that. You even had the terminology ready to go. Talk a little bit about how important sound is for you as an artist, for you as a writer, for you as a showrunner.
You know, because of, I think, and I've had this theory for a number of years, because of reality television, which is a little less, you know, you got bumpy camera work, shaky, whatever. I think audiences nowadays will forgive kind of a rough image, like, you know, something that's a little handheld or bumpy or whatever. But if the sound is bad, they can't hear someone talking, they start reaching for the remotes and getting mad. So for me, sound is important, one, because it's the words. I'm a writer, and I'm, you know, I want to protect the words, but I also just think people want to hear it and they want it to sound good. And we are really fortunate with our post-sound production team in Poland, Casper and his crew. Like, this sounds like a movie. Like I remember sitting in the mixes, and some of the sounds I was hearing was like, I really hope the audience on their TV sets can hear this, because it just sounds magical. And it's another dimension to the storytelling. And, you know, we want you guys to look and sound good, and sound is a big part of that algorithm. So we're lucky that we have amazing sound people on the show who can get us inside Emily's head. Here, and Stana, you talked about it, the crickets in her head. You always talk about Emily, wasp. The cricket, the wasp. That's it. Yes, I knew it was an insect of some kind. The wasp in her head. And we do that this season in some of these flashbacks and moments of trauma where we kind of go into her shoes and into her headspace. And sound is the way to do that in a really elegant way.
Okay, good luck to all of us. Actually, in the mouth of the wolf, as they say, okay?
Spoiler.
I'll be talking to you like 3.5 minutes, but I'll jump off and see if I can get Matt on.
Okay, I'll leave and listen. Bye.
Yes, and I'll talk to you in a bit. Bye. Okay, let me see who's next. of you who are wondering, Will is on Instagram. He posted a photo of his growing tomatoes. And then there are a few of you who are on Twitter as well, while we're waiting for Matt to link up. And Will is fantastic there, so you guys should be able to. Hold on, let me see. I can get Matt. Ink. Thank you. Woo! It's singing, but stop. That's it. Hello.
Yeah, I don't know what happened earlier. I obviously pressed the wrong button or something. I don't know.
Hi, Fred. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Where are you?
Good.
Are you up north or are you down this way?
I'm in cell phone connection area in internet land.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So okay, you got a puppy, right?
Mhm. Well, he's not.
Yeah.
Moish, come here. I'll bring him in. He's the cutest dog in the world.
Yeah. We can debate the cutest dog in the world thing.
No, we can't. You lose. Come here. You ready to meet Moish?
Yes. Aww.
This is my Moish.
Oh, hello. Oh, what a cutie pie.
I know, he's just such a little teddy bear. Although he's not that
my
little.
Gosh.
We can do the interview like this. You can ask Moish questions and I'll...
And you'll talk through. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, bye-bye. You wouldn't think I'd get this close to a dog's face after last time. Anyway. Go on.
What should we talk about, Matt? Like, we have, I'm
don't know.
going to jump soon, but it feels like anything that we dive into, Cal is such a mystery, and we kind of very carefully drop in elements of the character throughout, especially the top of this season.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there's a lot...
he unfolds slowly, and it's hard to say anything without...
Well, the thing is, I mean, a lot was planted last year. Those seeds start to return fruit this season. But, you know, if you've got a balance, you know, like, there's so many different journeys and different characters in this season. Obviously, I think we get to watch Chris's character. We get to watch a lot of characters develop.
Yeah.
I just want to shout out to, because we don't get a chance to shout out to the audience. So I just want to shout out to the audience and to any of our cast or crew that might be around the world that don't get a chance to talk to us.
Yeah.
Just to say thanks. You know, we've got an eclectic group of people, and you've got an amazing following of people all around the world. And you know, I don't get a chance to talk to a lot of them, and hopefully some of them are watching this. Who really knows? But yeah, I mean, it's been a fun, incredible journey, and Cal goes on a great journey like all the characters do. Will just spoke of that, but yeah, I just want to acknowledge the great time that we all had and the amount of amazing people that we got to work with.
Yeah, and you were one of them. You were such a partner, such a friend, such a storyteller. You're exceptional. I just did an interview in which, you know, they asked about the process and so forth, and I said that you are capable of seeing the big picture in a story, and because of that, you constantly pushed and added value, and we're able to know where Cal needed to be present and where Cal needed to pull back, where Cal needed to be front and center stage, and where Cal needed to give way to another character, and how to help that other character shine in order to tell the story in its best way. And so because of that, it was such a gift to have you on the journey and to walk that journey alongside you as a friend and as a storytelling partner. You're magical, truly magical. I'm excited about the audience seeing your stuff. I know a lot of my people have seen my people have seen it. My people have seen the episodes already because they're responsible for participating and supporting it, right? And the cast shines. The cast is a gift, and your work as Cal is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I don't need to tell you this enough. Because you don't listen usually. You change the topic.
No.
Wait, give me a second because I got to see if I have to jump, and I hope I don't. Maybe they moved the meeting. Hold on.
It's all.
We have a little bit longer before I have to go.
We do.
So talk to me
well,
a bit.
I don't know. I think.
Working over there. Yo, go
Well,
ahead,
obviously,
go ahead.
I benefited from joining in second season, so I got to see the first season, so I had a fresh set of eyes. But it's very rare that you get an opportunity to work on a project where you fall in love with the story and you have also such creative input, like a few people have already, to be able to amazing crew from everyone's there, committed 24/7. You know, I have a young family here, and when I'm there, it's all film. It's all day, all night, and then just to watch the show grow and watch everyone's bonds get tighter, and then also our ability to see that bigger picture and to develop something which, you know, really reach for the stars when it comes to the boldness of its storytelling, yet trying to be as truthful the whole time. It's a joy to be involved with people like that creatively, you know, from the very beginning, and getting a new showrunner this year and Will, and the driving force behind that is yourself and you know, Catherine and Julie, and then some amazing filmmakers. And what's great is we had some beautiful voices and some amazing female voices on this. You know, which I think is really important because they bring just a stronger, more caring, worldly, you know, balanced take on the world. And I just loved it. I loved shooting this season more than any, and I think it shows. I think everyone was committed, and I think the stories were so bold, and the plot lines were so bold when we got them. They were seriously page turners, and then we got to elevate it even more and contribute as much as we could until, you know, obviously you guys just finished the cut, so the audience gets to see it, and I know it's already aired in Poland and Spain, Brazil today, Australia tonight, and then we get it here in the States tomorrow, so it's fun. You know, it's always
what
fun
is that?
working with you.
Thank you. Just to speak a little bit to that, you know, this season, I feel like we had a gift in getting Will aboard because he is the type of collaborator that, again, like he led with Idea Wins, and we get this set of episodes that we brought it in 2 blocks, right? So we filmed 6 episodes at first, and then 4 in the latter half, and
You there? I lost you for a second. Can you hear me? Just nod if you can hear me. No. I can't hear you. No. What a right pain in the ass. I can't hear you, love. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. You can't hear me either, can you? I don't know what's going on. So you guys can hear me, can you? We can hear Matt, but not Stana. That's what they're saying. All right. Well, I'm about to start chatting. The last thing that you mentioned, do you have to go? The last thing that we mentioned, just okay.